some nice crisp water. Hi everyone. Either welcome back or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is a little get ready with me, as I love doing these, but I feel like this video includes some little inspirational talk just about life and about staying positive amidst all the chaos that life throws at us. Good chaos, because without a storm you don't get the sun, because what comes after a storm is always clear skies. So stay tuned, keep watching, and hopefully this will bring you some peace and calm to a very needed hectic day. We're going to start with our eye cream. I've got this one that's from Haru Wonder, and it's called black rice and bakushiol eye cream, which I believe, is it that one? It's a retinol alternative, because retinol is actually really good for your skin. However, when you first use them, it can be really harsh, especially if you have sensitive skin, so you need to build up your intolerance to it over time, which some people don't know, so they go straight forward into using one of the strongest prescriptions, and you have to build it up over time so your skin can get used to it, And that ingredient that I just said that I can't really pronounce, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, basically. That's a retinol alternative. And I didn't, when I first used this, I didn't think I saw much of a difference. I was like, oh, I'm just spending all of this money on this eye cream and it's not even working. To be honest, it's not even an expensive eye cream, but at the time I was thinking like that. But then I stopped using it and I realised, oh my god, this is actually really hydrating and does make a difference. So I went back to it. It's a Korean based skincare line, which, if you know anything, you know that Korea is really good for skincare. And I think one of the reasons that they're really good is that they tailor to sensitive skin and they don't add fragrance. Because I'm somebody that reacts a lot, or my skin reacts a lot to anything new, and fragrance, oh my gosh, the amount of rashes I used to get. And I used to think it was stress, and it wasn't stress. It was just because I tried something with fragrance on. I also use this Oat in Calming Gel Cleanser because it's got oat, and oat is really good for calming your skin and for sensitive skin, and it doesn't really react with anything, which means you're safe if you're sensitive girly like me. Sensitive in every sense. And then I always finish it with sunscreen, because even though right now outside there's a hailstorm in May. Interesting. So it's really good to have sunscreen if you want to prevent wrinkles. Not to say you're not going to get them, because, as we age, we will all get wrinkles. It just means we've lived an expressionate life, we've been expressive throughout our lives. That's how I like to look at it, rather than looking at, as we're getting old, doom and gloom. Look at it as a blessing that you have wrinkles. It means you laughed, So I don't know if you can hear, but the wind outside today is crazy. It really feels like one of those winter nights where you just want to stay indoors and not do anything. But we're in May. That's the scary part. Oh, it's not there, it's here. So I got a new little storage thing, ceramic. This looks very Portuguese actually. I really love it. I've just put some of my makeup on there. Because I like to store things like in a non-conventional way. I like to find things around my house that I can use as storage that looks pretty and decorative. Like for example, I have 2 martini glasses and I've put bangles inside of them. Because that to me is more appealing than actually using it for drinking glasses. It actually looks really, really nice. It's another thing I love. I love interior design and interior decor. Fun fact, one of my aunties on my mum's side was an interior designer, because now she's retired. But yeah, she used to be an interior designer and have her own furniture store as well. She travelled the world. She was very much a boss lady. Still is. Just pressing this down. Can you hear that? I wonder. Today, I don't really know what to do for today. I'm not gonna use, I've been using like this eye cream. It's really nice, but I'm not gonna be using that. Or this under eye brightener thing. Okay, we'll go. I'm gonna go for my trusted foundation. I love this foundation. I need to be careful because I'm wearing white, and every time this happens, I tend to like put it on my shirt, but that's not going to happen because I said so. I'm in this phase, well, basically I set myself a challenge, and the challenge was throughout the whole month of May, and I think today is like 13th, we're like halfway through May. I set the challenge, and it is a challenge, to only think positively. You're probably listening thinking, what do you mean challenge? Like positive thinking, that's so easy to do. I truly think it's been one of the most difficult challenges I've had to make or done. So I didn't make this challenge. Well, I made it for myself, but because they do say it takes 21 days to build a habit. I'm on day, what is that, like 13 or something like that, and it's just so difficult because I didn't realise how easily we fall into negative thinking. Like, it's the same as when you go on your phone. Like, ages ago I set myself a challenge to not go on my phone for a week, which I did. It was the most beautiful time of my life, to be honest, but it did feel really secluding because you're not in connection with anybody, you know. But I didn't go on any social media, anything like that. But there would be times where, like, I'd be, I don't know, going to the gym and just automatically going for social media. And I'm like, oh my god, I hadn't even thought of that. Like, if I didn't have anything to do, I'd be like, oh yeah, let me go and check my phone. Oh, I can't do that. I'm on a ban. And I feel like that also happened and has been happening with the negative thoughts, like every now and again. And I don't mean negative as in like doom and gloom, this is the end, it would just be like, oh, of course this happened, or this is gonna happen, or those types of things, which is still a form of like negative thinking. And I just didn't realise how much it controlled my life, but it really has. And also it's, now moving on to contour. I would also say that like it's a learned behaviour through the people you hang around with, or like people you've grown up with. Because now I'm starting to notice the people around me that are being negative, the people around me that always speak in doom and gloom. And it's making me really like just realise how much I speak doom and gloom all the time, because I grew up around doom and gloom speaking, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. And I grew up a lot around like the why me mentality. Of course it's me, it's always going to happen to me, me, doom and gloom, that's the type of thing, to not go too much into it. And then you start to learn that pattern of behaviour, and you start to take it into your own life. And if you don't acknowledge what you're doing, then you take it into your children's life, you take it into the next generation, and then it becomes a generational curse, you know? And like I just never realised, or let's just say I never took the time to stop and analyse that I was doing that, and I was allowing this behaviour to transpire and to grow. So like for example, I've had like today I had a couple of emails with, you could say like quote unquote rejections, but I choose to not see a no as a rejection. I tend to see it as a redirection, because I literally went somewhere last week and I was like, imagine if I was still, and I just had the thought of like, imagine if I was still the same as I was in my past, or like a couple of years ago. That would be so sad. And the only reason why I evolved from the past is because I had the rejections, I had the things that I thought was stopping me or were trying to stop me, but I was like, no, I'm not going to let that define me. I'm going to actually like choose to continue and not stop until I get what I want. And that's what I did, you know? So even though, yeah, as I said, today I had a couple of emails that were quintessentially a no, like who's to say it's a no forever? Like when we first get redirected, we tend to think, oh, this is like all doom and gloom, of course this happens to me, can't believe this, can't believe that. But it just shows that it's just not now. Doesn't mean it's never going to be it, you know? Because I think we're like people that crave immediate results. It's really hard also to like stick to one thing and have faith that it will work out the way that you want it to. Into concealer now, but I'm choosing to have that faith and to essentially bet on myself rather than spending time betting on other people, you know. So yeah, that's the challenge I'm on this month. As I said, it has really been a challenge. It's been a bit difficult. I think it's easy to be positive when things are going well, but I think it's even more crucial to be positive when things are not going well, because then you spin it on its head and you go, but what is well? Like things could actually be going quite well, but you're deciding to look at it in a negative light, you know. Sometimes it's all about perspective, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm on currently. I think it just also makes like life a little bit easier to think that way, you know, rather than doom and gloom, because I do think it's such a beautiful thing to live life and to be alive, you know. It's so beautiful, my gosh. And I think it's also so easy to forget that, especially like in the day and age that we live now. The quick things of life, of like the never stopping, the what's next. And then alongside that, I just decided to do that, challenge by myself randomly, and I listened to audiobooks as well. And this audiobook propped up, like, came up suggestive. I was like, oh, let me go on and see what it's saying. And the universe, it answered. It was literally a book, which is my book for the month. And it's a book about gratitude and how to practice gratitude for a month. The month of gratitude. And again, gratitude is really one of those things it's easy to do when you have a lot of things you think you're grateful for, but we forget to be grateful for so many little things. And you can be grateful for anything. Literally grateful that you have clean drinking water. That to me is such an important thing, because I believe that water should be a human right, you know. So many people that don't have access to clean drinking water, you know. And it's something that we take for granted every single day, because we can just access it at any point. And it's about being, you know, thankful for everything that you have, because the more thankful you are, the more the universe rewards you. And who doesn't want to be rewarded, you know? And I'm somebody who, like, I love a challenge. I love to try new things. So I'm trying this out and seeing how it goes, you know? But I have to say, so far it has been working for me. With the gratitude and the positive thinking, because I don't see it as, oh my god, everything's going to end, what am I going to do? You know, don't get into that thinking pattern. Get into the thinking pattern of, okay, cool, what's next? That's fine, what's next? And I think it's also healthy to, like, acknowledge how you're feeling and know that it has upset you or it's made you feel a certain type of feeling, emotion. I think that's very important. But I also think it's important to not let it consume you, because then it's doing you more harm than good. And we don't want that. I think we are going. I always have to concentrate when I do that, my eyelashes. Don't forget the trick for the mascara. You've got straight eyelashes, which is just to put at the end and then brush through. amazing. Now for my favourite part. I think this is gonna... Actually, before that, let me drink some water. Hydration. I always forget to drink water. I'm gonna go with this one. This one was gifted to me by one of my friends. And actually I've just come up with an analogy and imagery. At the start of this video that I was recording, we had a hailstorm. And now towards the end of the video, we're getting clear skies. And I think that is literally, I think God's sake, analogy, there we go, is the right word for this. How it can sometimes feel like we're fighting a storm. Sometimes if we just let things be, take a step back, breathe, the sky's open and it's all clear again, you know? Here, and I think I'm actually going to go with my favourite lip gloss ever received. For hair, I don't actually know what to do because I kind of curled it yesterday a little bit. Ow, ow, ow. Oh wow, look at the sun. I think do like a low ponytail. Like a ponytail that then does a little, just one of these.